All right, it's been a few minutes and it's starting to come to a boil. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but actually it's starting to separate a little bit. That happens when the milk is kind of old. But here when it starts to, now I stir it regularly because we don't want to scorch on the bottom, because that makes not only hard to clean up the pan, but it it can also affect the taste of the final product. So we don't want that. By the way, I'm not going to pretend that this is actually easy, but the cleanup is kind of a little bit of a chore. So if you're willing to put up with that, not terrible, not worse than a lot of other types of cooking, but there is, the cleanup is actually the hardest part of the process. Okay, I can see it starting to roll here. We'll give it about another, just a little bit. Okay.
It's worth the trouble. This is so fresh when he makes it. It tastes so good in lasagna.
Yeah. By the way, be sure to hit the like. If you want to hit subscribe, we're going to start trying to do this more regularly. And we want to try to share some good kitchen tips. See even some experiments that we don't know how they're going to turn out, but you can follow along whenever we try them. And this and that. Okay, I can see it's starting to roll, and I'm going to go ahead and add this. You should see the...
Now he's adding the vinegar.
Yep. Adding the vinegar. This is plain white vinegar.
About 2/3 cup this was.
Yeah, I've done it successfully with even less, but just between a half a cup, 2/3 a cup should be plenty. Some people say a full cup, but here you can see it's separating out. Is separating the curds from the whey, so when little Miss Muffet sits on her tuffet, here we have them. Okay, over here I have prepared the first stage of strainer. Got it over a pan so that it can drip through. And it looks like it's pretty well separated, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat.
Do you think it happened so fast because it was partially already done?
Well, kind of. I've done it with, when I first learned this, I did it with a fresh gallon of milk, of whole milk. And it came to a rolling boil, and, it just immediately separated once I added the vinegar.
Oh, okay.
There was a little Cajun lady from Louisiana showed me how to do that, and it separated out right away. Now, whenever I'm working with older milk like this, I don't know if it showed on the camera, but it was already starting to separate before I added the vinegar.
It sure did smell like it was. My sense of smell is a little far advanced in my hearing. They're both starting to go the older I get. I used to have, I could smell an ice cream truck before it ever hit our street.
Well, let's see. I used to have really good vision when I was younger, and I was actually slightly farsighted. 20/20 in my left eye, 20/15 in my right eye.
Oh, wow, lucky.
And never really bothered to have it corrected. Now, I found out I couldn't be a pilot unless I tested at 20/20 or had it, I don't know if they let you be a pilot but having 20/15 in the right eye, I wasn't eligible to be an Army aviator. And but I've discovered, I think the Army, especially when they need you in a certain profession, they kind of fudge the numbers a bit, because they used to always have my records that I was 72 inches tall, and I knew that I was 73 inches tall. Well, I'd come to find out, to be in the armor, on the tanks, the maximum height was 72 inches. So
they'd work with you on the height for that, but not on, your preferred slot.
Well, I did not apply for Army aviation, but
yeah.
But now I did have a chance, and I didn't take it, to become a helicopter pilot for the National Guard. through the good old boy system.
Yeah.
And I turned it down. I don't know why. I wasn't really afraid of flying, but it just didn't. It seemed like if I'd. It seemed like it might get old after a year or two. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's, some things are cool at first, and then, but who knows? There's always people say if I could do it all over again, it would be a really cool superpower is to be able to travel back in time to a moment where you made a decision and try another decision and see how it plays out. Now, you always have the option to return back to your original reality, right?
Right.
Kind of like Scott Bakula in Quantum Leap, except for a little more control over the situation.
Right, because
not showing the preview to every episode and popping in someplace and going, oh boy, No, you land right where you want to be.
That's assuming that time is linear.
Anywho, now there's still some more curds in here. After it cools, I think I'll end it. But right now, we're going to just let this drip, and
Okay.
and then, as I said, we've got a even finer mesh. I got this on Amazon for, I think it might have been $10.
Here, turn it so they can see the
Yeah.
that.
But
It's a mesh picture.
But when I found it, I was searching for. I'd heard that you had your own almond milk makers, or making almond or cashew milk or whatever kind of nut milk.
And you did make some good almond milk too.
Yes, it did come out really good. Doesn't have any of the preservatives or anything. It doesn't have a very stable shelf life like the stuff you get in the store. But,
No.
But anyway, this was for it. They were fancier ones, but I wanted to try out to see how it worked before spending any money on the
Sure.
fancy ones. There's also nut milk bags you can order, and you just squeeze them. There's a cheesecloth probably worked really well. Some home brewing supplies, they'll have mesh bags. But anyway, we're going to kind of squeeze it down, but we'll demonstrate that here in a moment.
Okie doke.
So for now, we're going to let things cool. We'll try to recover the rest of the curds that are in there, and we'll proceed to make our cheese.
All right. And